How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Manchester United, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I always feel like the first half of the season is a little bit of a slow burn, and I have seen the views on the series that are starting to go down a little bit, so I figured today, let's try and get to December. Now, I say that it's currently October 23rd. We're going to take on Arsenal today, and then I'm going to go even further forward and take on Man City. And the reason for that is rather simple. Those games feel somewhat pivotal in the context of our season. 8 games played so far, we are unbeaten. Today's first game against Arsenal, a chance to extend our lead over them and hopefully keep in touching distance with Man City. Since you were last here, we were able to achieve the impossible, not once, but twice. First, Matheus Cunha has left the club, yet we ended up selling him to Roma, where actually he's had a good start to the season with them. But if we just look at things here, in the end we did get £47.5 million for him. You already knew last episode who I wanted to sign. And well, with that money, we did go out and sign him. CDK, Charles de Ketelera. Definitely, CDK is just an easier name, isn't it? Look, this guy is absolutely amazing. So far, so good for him. And yeah, brought in for slightly more than we got for Cunha, but at 26... I really like him a lot. He was the only signing we made in what remained of the transfer window, but there was room for one more departure. And I think I pulled off the impossible here. On deadline day, Brighton came a-knocking, and they have offered to loan Marcus Rashford for 1 year and then buy him at the end of the loan, which I thought was a little bit weird because he was in the last year of his contract. But who am I to question it? So far, he's yet to score for them since he started his loan, so that was somewhat predictable. And if I'm not mistaken, it is going to be £37.5 million we receive for him at the end of the season. Apparently, unless I'm blind, there's not actually a way to see the... Oh, here we go. Mandatory fee, 38 million. I'm still learning my way around the UI too. I just realised I said I didn't make any other signings. Complete lie. We had 2 ins, 2 outs. The other signing I made was a left back. Yeah, Diouf. From relegated West Ham, we ended up picking up. Really, I figured, let's go and try and find an upgrade at left-back. I kind of talked about that last episode. Dorgu and Henry are good. Was wondering if there was a better player out there. And El Hadji Malik Diouf, at 22 years old, was available. We snapped him up for £55 million, which I'm not going to pretend it's the cheapest deal in the world, but he's been very good. And I feel like with his 16 crossing, he's really going to suit our system, where we do need our wing-backs to be productive going forward. Now, in terms of productivity, let's talk about our start to the season. First game was this one here against Tottenham. They took the lead via Tell. He was threaded a through ball by Kulusevski. And on his debut, Elise would score from us. Admittedly, yes, look, I'll admit it was a penalty, so does it really count as a goal? Of course it does. All the goals count. You can see, looking at the match stats, not really sure how we drew this 1-1-1. Spurs are right up there in the league table in 4th, but the way in which we dominated this game and failed to win, a little bit frustrating. From there, we managed to get our first win in the league of the season. It was against Aston Villa. It was Dorgu on off the bench. Yes, in this game, Malik Diouf started and got injured on his debut, which was great. But the replacement player, who obviously has been replaced himself, popped up with the goal. And from there, we strung together a really good run of results. You can see here 5 further clean sheets in a row as we beat Wolves. One game that we did drop points in against Leicester was very disappointing. This one finished 0-0, which, to be fair, we weren't at our best. But yeah, we should have won it. I guess we were saving all our goals for when we took on Newport County. We beat them 9-0, and then against Leeds and Juventus 5-0 and 4-0 followed before our only defeat in this opening start to the season. It came against Inter Milan. They came back from behind at home against us. Livramento opened up the scoring. But yeah, we just couldn't really keep it going. From there, though, we have won our next 4 games. Nottingham Forest, we beat 2-1. QPR, we beat 3-1. Of course, they were newly promoted. We've not shown them much mercy there. Against Liverpool, a little bit fortuitous, really. We won this game 1-0 at Anfield, which felt great. Of course, we've won a few games at Anfield. Last episode, I said I was going to do this as the live commentary game. Then I was reminded I'd played Liverpool the last 2 episodes. So I thought I'd spare you that. We won 1-0. It was a Buadi rebound. And then against Bodo Glimt in the Champions League, we won 4-0 with a very rotated team, which means that we are off to a much better, stronger start in the Champions League than we had last year, where, well, we were very slow to start, weren't we? Right now, we're up in 9th, obviously not flawless. That defeat against Inter sucks, but they've won all their opening games. That was one of our higher seeded matches we have to play. Now, as already mentioned, I'm going to do the Arsenal game today, and then we're really just going to blitz through another month or so of football, and we're going to come back for the game against Man City away at the Etihad. I feel like these 2 games really bookend a really important spell in the season. In terms of the Champions League games in between, we've got Fenerbahce. Is it Fenerbahce? I'm not sure. The Hungarian team. Benfica and Bayern Munich follow. But obviously, having won our first 2 games, I think we're in a good spot there. And if we do just have a quick look again at the Premier League table, we've had a great start to the year. We are unbeaten through 8 games. Admittedly, we've not played the likes of Man City and Arsenal yet, but that's the reason we're back today. Elsewhere, Liverpool, you can see here, 2 wins in 8 games for the reigning champions. They're down in 14th. They're having a stinker. In terms of top performers to start the season, all the goals, I have to say, are coming through Sesko, although Buadi's actually popped up with 4 goals of his own, playing that box-to-box playmaker role. And in terms of assists, it is Elise leading the way, and then Dorgu, who really took his removal from the first team seriously and personally, has popped up with 3 goals and 5 assists. Which is a little bit confusing because he didn't really have those assists in his locker. For now, at least, I am going to stick with the new signing, Juve. Anyway, we are going to jump straight into this game against Arsenal today. No surprises for how we're lining up. We're playing the 4-2-3-1. Juve will play as that tracking wide midfielder out on the left-hand side. Elise dropping in at the right. I mentioned kind of the new signings. They're all performing pretty well. You look at the ratings across the board. The whole team's had a great start to the year, in all honesty. Tchouaméni, 7.12 rating. I feel like for a defensive midfielder, that's absolutely elite. Defensive midfielders just never get above 7s normally. Anyway, today's opposition is Arsenal. They've got Zabani in at the back. I noticed that they'd sold Saliba to Inter when we played Inter Milan. In retrospect, had I known Saliba was available for sale, maybe I would have tried to buy him to add to our French players. But as things stand, I feel like Zabani is good. Maybe a little bit of a downgrade there. You look at their team, it's actually not changed that much through the first 2 seasons. Also, ticking off the bingo card for today, it's raining at Old Trafford. Right, a win here would be a really, really good result. A defeat here, I'm not going to start to panic and say it's the end of the world and the end is nigh. But obviously, we're trying to win the title this year. I want to win as much as we can. And games like this are really going to determine whether or not that's possible. 20 minutes played here. Arsenal yet to have a shot. To be fair, we've not had a great deal of chances either. We are struggling to retain possession in this match. It's a good job we've got the Man City game to follow because this has been far from a classic, at least through the first 30 minutes. That said, there's plenty of time for it to change as Tchouaméni wins the ball back nicely and now we look to spring the counter-attack. Sesko to Buadi, playing as that box-to-box playmaker, the 18-year-old, or rather, he's 20 now. He's got older, but the 20-year-old has been superb for us. Oh my word, that's why Juve's in the team. I got distracted by the fact I got Buadi's age wrong. Juve's got a mad assist. Buadi still feels like he's 18 in my mind. He is one of the best wonder kids in FM this year. He's developed immensely. He put it on a plate for Juve, who still had a lot to do, used all 16 of his crossing, and David Raya couldn't get across his goal to deny the headed effort. We beat Liverpool 1-0 at Anfield a week ago. I'll tell you what, beating Arsenal 1-0 would feel rather sweet, although given how long is left in this game, suspect there's going to be a bit more action. Half-time has arrived, 1-0 to the good. I mean, it's not been a classic performance, but we're kind of just doing what we need to do. Elise and Bruno Fernandes have been very, very quiet in this game, and I suppose the blessing that we have this year with the quality we've got is I'm just going to bring in Esteval, I'm going to bring in Mora, 2 players who probably would have featured in my best 11 last year. They find themselves on the bench, but in matches like this, I can throw them on to hopefully just try and swing the game in our favour. An hour played, Arsenal still just limited to the 1 shot on target. We have been superb from that point of view. They've not really made any subs as far as I can see just yet. I was going to say Arteta holding his cards close to his chest. I'm not sure if Arteta's still their manager in this universe. He may well be. Anyway, it's Hincapi for them, bringing the ball forward at left-back. Lewis Skelly in this universe has ended up playing defensive mid. Little give and go. Sesko and Mora. Mora's dancing. He's running. Oh, my word. Imagine if he got a shot away that went in. It's headed. It's blocked away. We do retain possession, though. Buadi dinks it. What a ball that is. Oh, my word. What a save by David Raya. Esteval volleyed it. The ball by Buadi was sensational, the little dink. And we nearly doubled our lead. Okay, we're going to make further changes here. Murillo's now having the best of games and is on a booking. So I'm going to take him off, bring in Delict, and then I'm going to move Gay to left centre-back. Does mean when we don't have the ball, he's got to play left full-back, but that is fine with me. Elsewhere, I didn't mention it earlier, Gadou's had a really good start, the young Frenchman. Going to keep him in the defence. In terms of other changes here, I think we're going to bring in Ryan. I feel like his pace is going to be useful. Esteval, with his wonderful left foot, going to look to swing it in. Of course, no Sesko now to aim for at the near post. And well, it's evident that he wasn't there to aim for because that cross was atrocious. Didn't beat the first man, but we're still on the attack. The Brazilians link up and Raya makes another save. Okay, Mora's over the corner. We're ratcheting up the pressure here, but not finding that all-important second goal that would certainly just lower the heart rate a little. maybe we can deliver it here. Mora, not exactly in a rush to take things. He gets it in towards Gadoo with his 19 jumping reach. It's cleared away. Mora, cutting inside, could shoot, does shoot. Raya with the assist. Or Ryan with the assist. Raya not with the save finally. This goal here has felt somewhat inevitable. Ryan gave the ball to Mora, who picked up the ball with a hell of a lot to do. The defence backed away from him. He cut inside to the edge of the 6-yard box and just smooshed it down the middle. Have to say, what a dominant performance this has been. Statistically, we have been absolutely all over them. And to be honest, a third goal wouldn't even really flatter us as far as I'm concerned. I think we've been that much a cut above them. We've limited their opportunities. Going forward, we've shown our real ability. And while Livramento to Esteval, could we do it again? Options in the middle. Mora is there. It is a demolition job at Old Trafford. Esteval found his way in behind, wrapped his foot around it, and Mora was there to tuck it away. I mean, look at the stats for this game. As perfect a performance as we could have hoped for against one of our big title rivals right there. Very happy with the performance. A sea of green, happy, smiley faces. And to answer the question, Arteta is still their manager. Unfortunately, Man City did just win 6-1 against Fulham, so they have gone back ahead of us on goal difference. Right, like I said, I'm going to go and play a load more Football Manager. We're going to come back for that game against Man City. There are some difficult games in the intermission. The Newcastle United one stands out, but given our recent form, we've got to back ourselves to do well here. And I would be curious to know down below, how would you feel about an episode like this one? I feel like, obviously, it's a beta save. The beta's ended. We can experiment a little bit more, acutely aware that there has been a drop-off in the series, and I feel like to get to the meat and potatoes of the season is just in everyone's interest. Future Jack, take it away. Hopefully he's wearing a happy smile on his face. Well, a whole load of Football Manager later, we're back. It's December, and I have to say, with the latest patch to the game, it's not flawless. I've really enjoyed the last month. Although maybe, just maybe, that has something to do with this run of form. Look at the green since we've left things. I mean, look at that. It's just satisfying. It's annoying that the only draw we've had is against a Hungarian team, really. We are still in the Carabao Cup. We beat Cardiff 4-1 there. Like I said, we did draw in the Champions League. I played a rotated team here. Maybe that was the issue. Or maybe it was to do with De Ligt getting a red card. Either way, 1-1. Not ideal, but we're doing well in the Champions League, actually. And I suppose that has to be attributed to this run of games, which really started off the back of a win against Chelsea. Bruno with a hat-trick in this game. He scored it in the 44th minute, just before half-time, which was really, really nice. It was cut back to him. From not long later, actually, into the second half, he cut in from a wide position out on the right-hand side to find the back of the net. And then Esteval with a really nice composed finish. Of course, the attacking midfielder, a former Chelsea man, he made it free. Bruno then scored a penalty a little later, and 4-0 finished. And from there, we've just been really good. 1-0 against Newcastle. Livramento scoring against his former club. In the Champions League, a 4-1 away win against Benfica was superb. 1-0 against Burnley. Bit closer than I would like, but we played a rotated team here, and at the end of the day, we got the result we needed. And it's a similar story, I suppose, with the game against Everton, where we did concede 2. The reason that's significant, we've only actually conceded 5 league goals all season. Most recently, we did beat Sunderland, and then midweek, we've just played Bayern Munich. We won this one 2-1. Juve scored for us. Sesko scored a header not too long later, and from 2-0 up, I felt comfy. Harry Kane left me squirming just a little bit. He scored in the 55th minute, but we held on through the second half. And to be honest, on the overall balance of play, we really deserve this. And obviously, from the disappointment of not beating Fenerbahce to, well, beating Benfica and Bayern Munich, things are looking up. It's actually a very, very weird Champions League group stage. Our final games, we're in 4th, by the way. Our final games are against Lens and against Salzburg, who are down there in kind of the bottom 6. So really, we should be winning our last 2 games, which should secure us now a top 8 finish. When you look at it, though, no one's really run away with things at the top, with the exception of Porto. Obviously, we've had to play Inter, we've had to play Bayern Munich, we've had to play Benfica. So we've actually played a load of the teams around us, and yet we're still in 4th, which I think is a really, really good sign for us this year. And well, I've already talked about how we're doing in the Premier League fixture-wise, but what does it mean on the league table? I'll tell you what it means. We are bloody ahead and flying. We are so far clear of Spurs. Got a game in our hand on them as well. Arsenal have lost a couple of games lately, and Man City, who are potentially our biggest rivals still, are 11 points behind us. A win here would put us 14 points clear of them, just 2 games away from the halfway point in the season. And well, with that all said and done, let's get into this second game. This would really set us up nicely heading into the holiday season. In terms of team news, Mora has been injured for a little while, failed his fitness test, so he's not back in the team, which is a real shame, actually, because he has continued to improve this year. But when it comes to the team today, we are going to play the 4-2-3-1, and actually this has been the system I've used more often than not. There's definitely been times where I've switched to the more offensive pressing systems, but I feel like this shape has really served us well. And as of the players playing in it, Sesko leading the line, Bruno Fernandes has had a great time so far. A little bit of interest in him from Real Madrid. I don't think I'm going to sell him. And the other man wanted by Real Madrid is Livramento, who has 5 goals and 9 assists for the season. He's been absolutely sensational in the Champions League. His form in the Premier League hasn't quite been as good, but that's just more a testament to how good he has been. Erling Haaland playing for them. I'm actually looking at their team. They've not signed any new players in their starting 11. On the bench, they've got Adam Wharton, Kim Min-jae, Spike Britt, Dodo as well. To be fair, there's still some very good talent that they've picked up, isn't there? I mean, bizarrely, when I kicked off this episode, I kind of figured this was going to be like a really high-stakes game, but actually, because of how flawless we've been, it's the kind of game that if we lose, I'm not immediately going to sound the panic alarm, and we are still going to be relatively comfortably clear at the top. We would still be 8 points clear of both Tottenham and Man City if we lose this. Naturally, though, it's a massive opportunity away from home to try and extend our lead. Okay, into this game we go. Let's see how we fare. It's the Manchester derby. Like I mentioned, I think we've conceded 5 goals in the league so far across 15 games. 2 of them were against Everton as well. Our season really has been built on a defensive solidity, which I'm going to hope persists going into this game here. Cherky to Rangers. I suppose if there's a game where you expect us to maybe concede, it probably is Man City away, with the freak that is Erling Haaland leading the line. Cherky out on the right-hand side. Maybe going to look to cut inside the number 10. Does so. Does a couple of tricks. Burns past 2 players. Oh, my word. I mean, a singular moment of brilliance there from Cherky, isn't it? What do you say about that? He picked up the ball here and he just started dancing. It's like me at a wedding after a couple of beers. Look at that. The moves that he's unleashed there, sensational. And the finish, rather ruthless. Into the roof of the net. This is the kind of game where I want to do a shout. I want to shout, demand more, or encourage, or just something. I want to feel like I can do something that isn't changing the tactics. Instead, I'm just watching Cherky pull down the pants of our defenders again and again. Chevalier is going to pick up this, the goalie. Probably going to be looking to go long, although actually on this occasion he's going to give it to Gadou, the new kid on the block who we've not really talked about much. His weaponry from set piece has been nice. As Sesko scores, I mean, it is beautiful direct football. I was talking about our set pieces and the fact Gadou scored 4. Livramento with another assist to add to the scrapbook. And what a ball this is through here. On his weaker foot, just dinks it in behind. Benjamin Sesko latches onto it. Great touch to open up the angle and squeezes it down the middle past Trafford. If you're wondering, where's Donnarumma in this universe? I actually don't know. This is one of those moments where I could wish I could exit the game UI to go and check. But if you've not picked up FM26 yet, you can't kind of abandon a match and open up the iPad as a manager and go check where players are. So instead, I'll try and remember to check after this game as Elise, well, almost gave us the lead here. Cutting in from the right-hand side. We've spent the big bucks on him. We want some big money performances. And scoring in this kind of game, I suppose, would be just that. 7 minutes left of the half. Man City perhaps been on the front foot for more of this game, but of course, our game plan is defend well, hit on the counter. Murillo half wins a tackle there, but can't get the second one. He is going to be supported by Juve, playing as that tracking wide midfielder to give us that little bit more defensive solidity as Rico Lewis cuts inside and Rangers' effort is deflected in. That is unfortunate. Cherky again doing the business. Our left side has been exposed in this game. Juve is actually on a yellow card. I will probably look to take him off at, well, half-time in this game. That ball did deflect in the end off Murillo. I don't know if Chevalier would have saved it anyway. Okay, we are down at the break. We'll get shouty. I'm then going to make some changes here. I'm going to bring in Dorgu at left-back. Murillo hasn't exactly had a much better game. I'm actually think in this situation now, maybe we bring in Yoro, move Gay to that left centre-back position, just to try and shore things up on that side of the pitch. Elise hasn't had the best of games here, but I feel like... I was going to say, I feel like he's the kind of player who can be a game changer. I'm looking at the body language, not really loving his or Bruno's. I kind of want to make more changes, but is that just gung-ho at this point in the game? You know what? I'm going to bring in Estevao. I'm going to put faith in Elise, but Estevao has repeatedly been a little match winner for us on off the bench. And And I feel like here, he is a player I trust, and it does mean we can now move Elise to play down the middle. I mean, 4 shots on target for either team. They've dominated possession, but we kind of expect that in this kind of game. It's about what we can do when we have the ball for small spells. Our direct play, linking those kind of long-range passes and trying to make something work with them. Gay gives it to Yoro, who should just go inside to Chouameni here. Gay dinks it forward. Dorgu on off the bench, takes it down, and he was onside. That would have counted. It's not a goal, but it's a sign that the subs that we've brought on are linking up. Elise free kick. Just coming up to an hour played. Shoots and hits the outside of the post. John Stones, free kick just inside our own half. Looking maybe to make something happen. That is an awful pass to Dorgu, who, well, he has pace. That is his main attribute. And look at him bringing it forward here. Run from the left back. Players chasing him in his wake. And the keeper makes a save. Elise is still really struggling in this game. I've given him time to do better. He has not done better. I'm going to bring in CDK for his live commentary debut here. I have one more sub if I want to use it. But you know what? I think for now we'll just save it in our back pocket. There's still 25 minutes left here. I feel like on balance of play, we're maybe a tad unfortunate to be 2-1 down here. Yes, we've not had a lot of the ball. Man City have not created anything in this second half so far. Obviously, as time trickles along here, I have to consider maybe going slightly more attacking. And, well, the next goal in this game you feel like is going to be crucial. I don't want to go too attacking too soon, because if we concede, I don't see us coming back from 2 goals down. If we get the next goal, though, you know, then there maybe is a dilemma as to, do we keep going for it? Oh, my word. Is Sesko on? Is Sesko on? His shot's blocked. He was onside. Was that Chouameni who played that pass there? It was stupendous from deep. I guess at this point we need to go slightly more attacking with our approach play. I don't feel like 2-1 is a fair reflection of how this game's played out. I want to keep our unbeaten run going in the league, if we can. Wharton trying to bring it out for them, gives it inside to Haaland. Bernardo Silva now on the right flank, backheels it to Dodo, puts his foot on the ball, bit of composure there. Wharton, who of course we looked at for a long old time playing at centre mid. Oh my word, Livramento's murdered a man. It's a straight red card. It's a moment of insanity. And I mean, what do we do now? I mean, I suppose logically, out of possession, we go to like a back three and kind of just accept the fact we're going to be a man down at the back. I think actually I'm going to move Esteval further forward here, and we've just got to go to look on the counter more. I will move him in possession into that wider area as well and just play him as an inside forward. Obviously, down a man now, looking to try and make a comeback. It's not going to be easy at this point, is it? Not seen that many straight red cards, I feel like, in Football Manager this year. That was a moment of madness by Livramento, and I think that probably secures our fate in this game. There is 4 minutes left. I mean, if you want to find a positive, we've not conceded since we've gone down a man, so maybe our okay defensive run continues. But I fear this game is done. We've played 2 minutes over the 6 allocated minutes. There's a back post cross here that we're going to look to head away. And now I feel like the halftime whistle is just destined to go. The ball's played forward, though. Imagine Esteval. It's actually, well, an opportunity perhaps. He skips past his man. Surely not! That was a chance. The shot there was the last effort of the game. The keeper clutches onto it. And it finishes 2-1. I mean, bizarrely, I don't even feel like we were that bad. Like, all things considering, away against Man City, I think that's a pretty good indicator that we're kind of top of the league on merit. That said, never ideal is it to lose against your local rivals. A disappointing defeat. It moves them 8 points behind us, but we've built up a really healthy buffer, and we've now played all the teams around us. And because I'm a man of the people, I did go and check. Donnarumma out injured with a cold. Imagine missing the Manchester derby with a cold. Game's gone. I don't say it lightly. The game has gone. So looking ahead for our upcoming games, I mean, when you look at the next 2 months of football, is there difficult games in there? We've got the Carabao Cup against Leeds. I'd like to think we win that. I guess Tottenham in the league in January is the one match that stands out as a difficult one. In terms of when we're going to be back, I think I'm going to go and get through the transfer window and come back sometime in maybe February or whenever there's some knockout football happening. If you were wondering about the budget to the club, I literally have no money to spend transfer-wise or wage budget-wise. The reason for that, the club has kind of just run out of money. We've got minus £333 million in the balance, which is problematic. Anyway, folks, we will leave things there for today. Let me know what you think of the team and how things are shaping up for this season. I feel like the Premier League title is certainly there for the taking, and I don't want to say it too prematurely. If we don't win it with an 8-point cushion, I have bottled it, haven't I? Besides all of that, have a lovely rest of your day. We'll be back on tomorrow on Wednesday for more action, and until next time, it's me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.